Hobbies. Hobbies are pretty much what keep me sane. I love trying new things, especially when they're on the creative side. It gets me super excited. Problem that I have, though, is keeping up with them once I've started. And I've started like so many. At this point, I've kind of lost track of all the ones that I've started and stopped. So, I made a list. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, I actually started to put together this list on my computer of all the different hobbies that I had started and stopped over the years, and it's kind of embarrassing. It's a lot of these I really like to do, but then I just quit for whatever reason. Maybe I'll show you a couple. Let's go check it out. Video games have been just one of the hardest things to keep up with lately. I love video games, it's one of my favorite things, but they release games at just such an astonishing rate anymore. I have no time. I have a day job. I can't just be home playing games all day. I want to, but Alan Wake came out. I haven't even gotten to play that yet. And there's 5 other games I've already started and stopped because these new games keep coming out and I want to try them, so I'll get them and I'll play for 4 hours, and then another game comes out and I want to try that one too, so I get that one, and now I have this pile of games that I'm just never going to finish. But I keep just thinking that I gotta finish them. I'm guilt tripping myself almost. It makes me not want to play at all. What's wrong with me? I also really like cooking. I super got into that. I started watching all these Gordon Ramsay videos, and I was like, I gotta learn how to cook because TV dinners would get old real fast. And then I ordered HelloFresh. I wish this was a paid advertisement, but it's not. Honestly, HelloFresh is the best thing ever to help you learn how to cook and stuff. I super recommend it. But for whatever reason, I kind of just fell out of it and just left it by the wayside. I need to get back into it again. What's wrong with me? I used to play guitar a lot more. I originally got into it because of Guitar Hero, of all things, and that made it seem more accessible to me for some reason, and I felt like I should get a guitar and try it out. And the guitar that came with the original Guitar Hero was a Gibson SG, so that's actually what I ended up buying. And I learned a lot of my favorite songs and whatnot, but pretty much after I learned them, I was like, that's good, I guess I'm done. And I never really pursued it anymore. I really ought to get back into it. What the hell's wrong with me? Perler beads. The little colorful plastic beads that you put on a little board, and then you take the iron and go over the top, they melt together, and then now you have 2D sprite art that you can put up on your wall. Super cool. But when you are done with it, you're just left over with a ton of little colorful bags of beads. What are you gonna do with all that stuff? I don't know. Miniature painting. I love the whole miniature thing. I love board games, especially Hero Quest. I've been super crazy into that recently. And I wanted to start painting all of them. You can't just play with bland plastic. They gotta look cool, right? And then you just kind of get burnt out, and then you've got paint sitting here taking up the whole desk. I want to do it, but I have this whole skeleton army I have to paint. It takes so long. Music games. I love music games. DDR, one of my all-time favorites. Just love it. Classic. Beatmania 2DX, love it. Another game I just play constantly. I love this game. Can't get enough. U-Beat, it's another one that's really good. I haven't played a ton of it, but what I have played I really like. Poppin' Music, another really good game. Lots of buttons. It looks like a kid's game, but it's super difficult. It's kind of more like Beatmania. Sound Voltex, interesting. I haven't played a ton of it, but I do like it. It's more like a weird, mixing kind of game. You take 2 sounds, put them together and whatnot with the knobs. It's complicated, but it's pretty cool. Taiko no Tatsujin, Taiko Drum Master, also really fun. You basically take 2 wooden mallets and you just hit the outside on the rim for one note, and then you hit the inside for the other notes. So there's red and blue notes, and you have to hit them each. And it gets more complicated than you would think with only the 2, but it's super fun. Dance Rush Stardom. This game's actually dancing. You have this huge touchpad, and you actually have to do the Running Man and all sorts of other dances. It's really, really fun. I love these games, but I don't go out to do them as often as I feel like I should. I just gotta drive to the arcade. It's kind of 2 hours away now, but what's stopping me? Rubik's Cubes. I always loved these when I was a kid. And I wanted to solve one, but I thought you had to be a genius to do that. Then I ended up learning that it's just a predetermined series of movements to get one of the cubes wherever it needs to be to solve it. And once you learn that, you just do it faster and faster until you're done, basically. I ended up getting several different types of cubes, more complicated than the next, and they got harder and harder to solve and less fun to do so. Look, I still play with the original 3x3. It's a great fidget toy, at least. These are the ones I actually kept. They were kind of cool. I left them on the shelf. Otherwise, I'm not trying to solve these things. You know, I used to draw a whole lot more too. I'll be honest, I only ever got into drawing originally because I was a shy kid and I didn't know how to make friends that well. So that's what I did. And eventually I got into the whole werewolf thing, and the only way I could see them is if I drew them. But then kind of once I got the internet and I found other people that were drawing them, then it became less of a need for me to do it. So I didn't really want to do it as much. And then it got harder to get better, like the amount of effort I'd have to put in. So I lost interest and just hit this wall and kind of just quit doing it. But yeah, this looks pretty good though. What do you think? So I guess the biggest takeaway here is that I have all these hobbies that I'm super interested in, but I just can't for the life of me stick with them. It's like I see something cool and I dive right into it, full steam ahead, and then, ooh, something shiny. Let's try that instead. And it just kind of bugs me, right? Because I have all these other projects that I want to go back to. Like I've got ideas for short stories and things all the time, but I just don't sit down at the computer to write them because they're not as fun to do as just hopping on a video game and playing that for a couple hours. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's what I'm trying to think about. Like, is it fine to do that stuff? Is it fine? I mean, like, I've got all these video games that I start and then don't finish for the same reason, because there's always cool new video games coming out. Should I not worry about leaving certain projects unfinished and just enjoy the process of starting something new and just savor the memories that I had? Or do I go back and force myself to finish it? You know, the worst thing is just having that voice in the back of your head that's just like, you gotta finish this thing. You have to. If you don't finish it, you'll never be happy because you have all these other things. And then it stops you from enjoying new things you'll probably miss out on if you don't jump into it. So I'm trying to learn to just sail on through that and stop thinking so hard. And I know it's probably a little bit of depression sprinkled with some ADHD. I don't know. You know, something is definitely taking away my motivation to do these things that I love to do. I'm just passionate about trying new things that allow me to flex my creative muscle. You know, like even now, YouTube is just another one of those things. If I don't finish them, it almost feels like a part of me dies, but you know, I do know that I enjoy starting new hobbies and things just as much as I hate not finishing them, so in the end, I guess it balances out. I suppose I should just be grateful that I'm able to do these things at all and not be so hard on myself for like leaving so many things unfinished. There's a quote by Vincent van Gogh that I really like. I'd rather die of passion than boredom. At least I'm not bored. Dude, I just got Helldivers 2. It's freaking awesome. You should totally download it and play with me. Oh.